Hey everyone, what's going on? Greg here again from Team Blast. So, if you ever search for something like locksmith or HVAC or plumbers, you're probably seeing sponsored business listings at the very top. I'm on my computer, you will see two. If you're on your phone, you will see three. And then below that is the map pack over here. So, let me set the stage real quick, and then I'm going to go into Google local services ads and how they work. So, to start, hypothetically, if you're a locksmith and you're noticing maybe you're down 15, 20% in phone calls year over year, and you're looking at your rankings, you're saying, man, we rank really well in an 8 mile or 10 mile radius for terms like locksmith, uh, commercial locksmith, car key replacement, all this stuff. What's happening? Go into Google and search for your target terms and notice if sponsored businesses are showing up. Hypothetically, a sponsored business listing can get 10, 15, 20% of all the activity that's happening because they're at the very top, especially for mobile too. People will just search and generally click on the first couple, which is now the ads at the very top. So if you're noticing less leads through your Google business profile, it could be because the sponsored business listings. Now, just to reiterate, not every company or industry is allowed to be in the sponsored business listing. So, for example, TM Blast is an SEO company. There's no local intent with that where somebody needs an SEO right away. So that's why they don't allow that to be featured. But again, if you're an HVAC company, if you're a plumber, if you're a locksmith, this is really where you want to be. It's because it gets to the very top of the page, and the way it works is it's a pay per lead campaign. Unlike Google Ads, which is a pay per click, you only pay for a qualified lead. Let me explain this. So hypothetically, if I click on nonstop locksmith, I click on message over here. You get this view, and I can click on the write a message. I can click on the service that I want. Let's say copy building keys, my name, everything like that. Hit send. If it's a qualified lead, you're going to pay for that. I've seen industry averages around $70 to $80 per qualified lead. Obviously, it all varies for different industries, but just to give you an idea, if it's a qualified lead, then you pay. If I click on the get phone number, if I scan that QR code with my phone, or if I call this number, then Google has, I think it's about 1 minute or so that they review the phone call. And again, if it's a high quality lead, then you have to pay. So if I said hypothetically, I'm locked out of my house, there's a power failure, and I don't know where my spare key is, I need someone to come over now. That's a really high quality lead compared to somebody calling saying, hey, how much do you charge for a car key replacement or key fob replacement? And then you say your number, and then they start asking you, well, okay, how much do you would you be willing to drop this, 10 or 15%? And now it's kind of going back and forth. It's going really nowhere. That's generally how it's not a qualified lead. You can always dispute that within Google, whether it's the message or the phone calls. You could potentially save money, but you have to be really on top of that. So it's a much different service than Google Business Profile, where it's just number of calls and number of website clicks. Instead, you are really focused on the quality of lead, and then either accepting it, booking it, or potentially disputing it if it's gibberish or if it's a low quality lead. But these ads here at the very top, I'm going to show you a few more searches. So hypothetically, if I search for, let's say, commercial locksmith, hit that. Here you go again, sponsored businesses at the very top. Let's do another one. How about automotive locksmith? Sponsored businesses again. This is why it's really critical to keep an eye on this. If you are noticing year over year trends pointing down, and you're not too sure why, and you're saying, hey, maybe we're running Bing ads and Google ads and Facebook, but why are we down? Sponsored business listings could be at the very top. They could be taking 10, 15, 20% of the total search volume away now from the map pack below, which is why you're getting a little bit less phone calls, website clicks, scheduled bookings, etc. Which is why I recommend that you get into the sponsored business listings. Google local services ads is a way to kind of make up that. And that's why I'm offering that now as an additional service to my local SEO strategy, something that I can help manage to help kind of dispute those low quality leads, add the photos, review the services, and it's even more than just that. But kind of having both together, the sponsored business listings and then also the map pack, is the winning formula to get the most leads through Google. Anyway, though, let me know if you have any questions. I hope this kind of maybe sparks my ideas of what you guys can do for your business or for your clients. Maybe consider Google local services ads as a way in 2026 and beyond to reach a new audience that's a little different than Google ads. Anyway, thanks for watching this video, and stay tuned for the next one.